All right, sir, why don't you take it away for our first game of the tournament?
All right, guys. Well, here we have in the purple color from the team, ROX.KIS is one of their blah, 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 blah. You had to make me do it. Bad choice. Bad choice this time. But no, one of the Zergs who played one of the most entertaining games in StarCraft II history on Shakuras Plateau. I believe it was against Mana a while back. Let's see if he can show us another entertaining game today. It is ROX.KIS.Abver. And up here at the top of the map, we have our blue Protoss player from the team Dream Team Gaming, I think it is. Yeah, it is Tatov.
All right, and the map is Atlantis Spaceship, as I mentioned. We have a 10-map pool now. 7 tried and true great tournament maps are involved, and we have 3 new ones as well. As you guys will remember, we actually did a map-making contest back last year.
Oh, yeah.
And so 3 of those maps are actually parts of our new map pool. We didn't go all out, or we didn't change the whole map pool, but we wanted to introduce a few fresh maps. This one actually comes to us, and the name skips me right now, from Prime.
He's Jackie Prime.
Yes,
yeah.
Thank you, Jackie Prime. He actually designs a lot of the GSL maps.
He does, yeah.
And this is his Atlantis Spaceship. And what we liked about it so much was that you had a natural that was forge fast expandable, pretty easy to take, so it leads itself to nice long macro games. Xel'Naga Caverns do not control every single attack path, and there's no gold expansions. In fact, this one kind of
gold.
This one, I know exactly. Yay! This one has kind of a weird 3rd expansion, which has mineral patches and 3 Vespian geysers, one of those being a rich Vespian geyser.
That's cool. I like that. I'd love to see if players do decide to try to use those rich geysers at some point. It's pretty neat. And what is this?
Are we going to have mannered like Evo Chamber block of a Nexus or something?
This is what made this guy so interesting in that other game on Shakuras Plateau.
Sure.
I forget what tournament that was a part of. I apologize, but
no, that's fine.
Yeah, it was Abver versus Mana. I think Day 9 even did a daily on the game. It was really cool, and it did start out, I believe, with a Proxy hatchery. Although I think that time it was a response to something. But either way, it's entertaining. This may not be a very long game, but we'll see what happens. I mean,
you know, he's not canceling and putting down, like, you know, sometimes you'll see the hatchery, they'll wait because there's creep that builds there, they'll cancel, they'll put up the evolution chamber.
That's right.
And the evolution chamber, much like the engineering bay or the cybernetics core for the other races, builds so quickly that it's used as an effective block.
Yeah. Now, interestingly enough, Tatov already has both his gases. It's kind of interesting that he would take them both quite so early, extremely early second gas. My DT sense is always tingling, but with a build like this from Abver, I don't know if we're ever going to get to that point in the game. We'll have to see. And does Tatov know about this hatchery yet? That's the question.
I do not believe
I don't think he does. Yeah, he still thinks he's blocking the hatchery for Abver right now, but oh boy, the creep is appearing on the map right now, so how is our Protoss player going to respond? He's making a Stalker. That may not be the most helpful thing for him in the world. And all right, so he's really blocking it. Oh, man.
And building a gateway down there. Zerglings and a Queen coming out of this hatch.
And the Stalker. Oh, it's like, what the? Oh, there's a building in my Nexus place. All right. Oh, Abver, pull your Zerglings back. That is not, I was going to say.
Oh. But it does survive with one. He'll probably run the less hurt one to the front there. But the Stalker starting to go to town on the Spinecrawler. Yep. The gateway finally did get cleared up over at Abver's base. We do have some more Zerglings coming out now. That Queen's got to watch out, though. Hopefully these Zerglings get out in time to be able to defend it. But he is buying that critical time needed to put up a Spinecrawler.
Yeah, we'll see. The Queen is getting a little bit low on health right now.
And let's see. It's down to 26
losing that Queen would be huge.
Health.
Can he kill the Stalker?
Oh, he gets away with 1 point of health. One more shot is all it takes.
No way. Wow. The Stalker might get it anyway. No, he's targeting the Zerglings.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
What a ridiculous start to this game. And we have a Stargate coming up now for Tatov just to add to it.
He did manage to kill the Stalker. He was a bit low on health. He's going to be able to kill this pylon too, possibly. He's going to lose a lot of Zerglings.
Yeah, he
is. But the Spinecrawler is on the low ground now. Oh boy, depowering the gateway, very, very nice. But, you know, the vision on the high ground is only going to last as long as those Zerglings.
Yeah, certainly. We're going to need to see a couple more up here in a second.
Overlord, perfect.
That's a good choice. He needs to swing this one around over to the left-hand side now, though, I would think. But we do have our first Void Ray actually popping out of that Stargate now. Yeah,
that's going to be a bit of a problem here. I mean, Tatov is going for an opening here that's going to actually respond very, very well to this. We'll have to see how much damage he can do with the Void Rays, because Abver is also kind of expanding to his naturals, we can see here too. But will he be prepared for the Void Rays? That's kind of the big question right now.
Unfortunately, it looks like Abver selected all of his larvae a second ago and spammed out a bunch of drones. So, unfortunately, the larvae that were sitting over here actually produced a bunch of drones. I guess he wants to continue doing that. He is starting to mine a little bit up here, which is awesome.
You will just plain old have more larvae this way, too. So,
Definitely.
I mean, even though he will lose that one drone getting away, he's still going to have, like, a few more, I guess. It's not ideal, of course. It's a bit silly, but I don't know. The question is now, was the investment that Abver made on this worth it? I mean, I would kind of tend to think it may not be. It's a lot of expenses right there.
It is. You know, I mean, if we think about, you know, both the pros and cons of that, though, he obviously spent 300 on the hatchery. They had the queen up as well, but he is continuing with a bunch of creep spread, which is actually a very nice effect. No robo in sight. There's going to be no mobile detection, so this creep is going to stay there for a long period of time. That alone is worth quite a bit, and he did kill a couple of stalkers and, of course, a pylon on top of that. But I despite saying that, I agree with you. I was merely, you know, listing out some of the pros there. That was quite the investment there. Is this our hurt queen? It is.
I think she finally made it back. Aww. Yeah, it's true. And I mean, with the thing is with the decision to go ahead and do the proxy hatchery, he also made the decision to build another hatchery in his natural really quickly. You know, he saw that his spine crawler cheese wasn't going to work right away, built a hatchery, so he kind of came out of it, I suppose, as best you could really hope for. He's got spores on the way, too, so I think he's actually, he's got plenty of queens, obviously, so yeah, he's going to be just fine.
And let's see, that's another Phoenix making its way up. Decent little gateway army up there. Looks like a few Zerglings, I apologize, tried to run their way in or something along those lines, but couldn't really not going to last very long.
You know, Tatov's surprising me a little bit. He's really putting a lot into these Phoenixes. He's making quite a few. He's going to be up to 4 pretty quickly here.
And he knows there's a ton of anti-air on the field right now.
Yeah.
We know that layer tech is coming as well, so a Hydralisk switch is certainly not out of the question.
Well, you know, that may actually be part of his plan, too. We'll see what he's doing. He is actually not really building a whole lot right now. Huh.
Yeah.
Just kind of making Phoenixes. Okay. So, well, I mean, he is on one base pretty solidly, and you see what Abver did. He spread the creep over to where the third would be, too, so it's not like Tatov could take that third. So, smart moves by Abver, and it looks like Tatov might just be kind of out of luck. I don't know if there's really a whole lot he can do to win this game at this point.
Already the transfusions going down for Abver. He has those nice healed up queens with a ton of energy sitting around, starting that creep spread out in his base as well. We've got the Gateway Forces finally joining up now with the Protoss Air Force.
You know, if he lifts enough queens, the Gateway Army could conceivably do enough damage, but there are 3 spines there actually. So
and there's a bunch of Zerglings, even some that could jump around for a counterattack as well. He's got to watch out. Can't run those Zerglings out there right now.
I think he's just trying to scout a little bit with those. So he sent a few.
They were just map control Zerglings, but he was doing the group all of them and then run them up and control click them away. You know, and unfortunately, all of his got exposed to the Gateway Army for half a second. But
well, at least one got through. That is helpful. There is a group of Zerglings up towards the top of the map as well.
Yes.
But here comes Tatov lifting some of the queens, lifting 4 of them there, but will it be enough? Zerglings aplenty here, more than enough to take out those sentries and zealots. And you know what? Phoenixes just can't win games.
Right. They are pretty darn effective at lifting units and even mitigating Hydralisks or something like that if you have enough of them.
Oh no, catching the gateway units right as they warp in. That is actually huge. Look at that, even saves the zealot.
Lifts up his
luckiest zealot, I guess. I don't know.
Thank you. Thank God. Do those Zerglings ever run into the main?
I don't believe so, but they really could now. That's a huge group of Zerglings going over there. He's going to lose a lot of overlords to these Phoenixes. Doesn't really have a whole lot of anti-air, but the Corruptors are on the way now. So, you know, a little bit of careful control should be okay. Oh, there's a run into the main, though.
Oh, you're absolutely right. So any economic damage that he's suffering right now back at home is,
what are those Zerglings doing?
Zerglings are just running around. There we go.
That's like the worst.
Finally killing a couple of units, but they do allow. He probably could have killed another 5 or 6 probes there, no problem.
Yeah, it didn't do quite as much damage as it could have, but you know, Tatov just not gaining any real traction in this game at all. You can see the supply really kind of shows that. He's about 30 supply down right now, and it's, that's not going to change anytime soon.
All right, we'll see if more economic damage can be done here in a bit, but our first Corruptors are on the field. Wow, that's just a huge group of queens sitting back there.
I like that. I think that's great. I mean, you can go into that Spire play. You don't have to invest in something like a Hydra Den or something like that.
Yeah.
I like it.
And the queens are also very multifaceted, and they are actually decent anti-air options at the beginning of the game.
Fairly quick on creep as well. You know, he is losing a decent amount of drones from these Phoenixes. Let's check to make sure, actually. Well,
he's done almost as much damage as he's lost, so... not all that bad.
Yep. Droning up a little bit more and more Corruptors. Infestation Pit as well. That's going to be awesome against the Phoenixes if he gets some Infestors out, gets the fungal growth those Phoenixes. And the Corruptors chasing the Phoenixes away again.
Yeah. And really, oh wow, one Phoenix actually goes down there. But, you know, just a handful of Corruptors essentially makes a very large force of Phoenixes worth almost nothing because of how effective they are.
I gotta say, I'm a bit surprised that Tatov thought he could really win this game on one base like this, that he could just kind of get by without trying to re-expand. I mean, obviously it's going to be a lot slower, and, you know, he's still not completely out of it, but, you know, his chances of coming out on top this time are pretty slim.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's got to make... I mean, he tried the kind of one big attack, break the front before his opponent was able to switch in technology, but just on the back of some well-timed transfusions, a couple of spine crawlers, and a bunch of lings, he was able to hold off a very powerful attack.
The timing right now, though, for Tatov is pretty good. He's catching Abver when he's been making a lot of drones, he's making infestors, he doesn't have a lot of Zerglings to kind of buffer his army. So he could actually conceivably do some damage here. We'll see. I mean, it all depends a lot on those infestors. The fungal growth is going to be absolutely huge right now.
Yeah, he did a nice job at actually chasing down a few of the Corruptors. Didn't take too many losses in return. So he pressures pretty effectively. But yeah, there's those infestors you were talking about before, just making their way out at the moment. If he catches all those Phoenixes in a group.
And I think he might. Here come the Phoenixes. Yeah, he sees the infestors and turns around right away. And now he's kind of like, well, what do I do? I could suppose I could come in. You know, if he had Blink, he could blink in and target the infestors, but he doesn't. Only has one Void Ray. So this next attack, it'd be a miracle if Tatov was able to take out Abver at this point.
Only a miracle can save him now.
A miracle. A miracle on Atlantis Spaceship Street or something.
I suppose. I throw down obscure Mel Brooks references from time to time, so
just
be prepared.
I didn't quite catch that. I'm sorry.
Gotcha. Be prepared. Be prepared. There's more coming. All right. Good creep spread pretty much everywhere, though, for Abver, so we should be able to get a nice, favorable engagement. I mean, Tatov is sitting nice off of creep, but here come the infestors right behind, throwing down fungal growth on the vast majority of the Air Force and ground as well. There are so many queens here that he can just recycle transfusions over and over again, and those Zerglings have now closed with all the gateway units.
Yeah, I mean, the Zerglings did their job. Fungal on the Stalkers is great. I mean, Abver obviously coming out on top in this game. Tatov made a valiant effort of it. Yeah. But, I mean, Abver really blocking off every base he could possibly take. GG.
GG there it is called, and so ROX.KIS does go up 1-0 now.